Chosen one, just 1 minute. That is all I am asking from you right now. Not a long commitment and not a perfect version of yourself showing up. Just 1 minute of your real and honest attention. You have given minutes away today to things that gave you nothing back. You scrolled and you checked and you moved from one moment to the next. And somewhere in all of that, something inside you still felt hollow. I noticed that. I have been watching it for a while now, and I am not bringing it up to make you feel ashamed, because shame is not what I came here to give you. I came because I love you, and because 1 minute with me can do what hours of everything else could not. So stay here, just for right now, just for this. Chosen one, I know what your day has looked like, even before you opened this. I know the weight you carried when you woke up this morning, that low feeling that settled in before you even had a reason for it, the kind of heaviness that does not have a clean explanation and that you cannot just shake off by staying busy. You tried staying busy anyway, because that is what you have learned to do. Keep moving, keep going. Do not let the stillness catch up to you, because in the stillness, all the things you have been avoiding start to get loud. I know that pattern. I know it because I have watched you live inside of it for longer than you realize. But right now, in this 1 minute, I am asking you to let the stillness come, not because it is easy, but because what I need to say to you lives in that quiet place, and it cannot reach you when everything around you is noise. Type, "I am here," in the comments right now, not for anyone watching, but as your way of saying you showed up, you stayed. That matters more than you know.
Chosen one, there are things you have been carrying in silence that were never meant to be carried alone. Not the surface things, and not the things you talk about with other people, but the deep ones, the ones that live underneath all your explanations. The fear that you are falling behind in a way that cannot be recovered from. The quiet grief over a version of your life that you imagined and that has not shown up yet. The exhaustion that comes not from doing too much, but from pretending for too long that everything is fine when something inside you knows it is not. I see all of it, every layer of it, and I am not standing here with disappointment on my face. I am standing here with my hand extended because I want to carry what you have been dragging on your own. As it is written, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Matthew 11:28. That is not a suggestion. That is a promise from the one who has never once broken a promise to you, even when you stopped believing he would keep them. You stopped believing for a little while, didn't you? Not completely, and not in a way you would say out loud, but quietly on the inside, something shifted. The prayers started to feel like they were going nowhere. The waiting started to feel less like faith and more like foolishness, and you kept going through the motions because stopping felt worse than continuing. But the fire that used to live in you got smaller, and you noticed, and it made you sadder than you let yourself admit. I noticed too, and I never left. Chosen one, I want to tell you something about those unanswered prayers, because I think you have misread my silence. When I did not respond the way you expected, it was not because your prayers were too small, or your faith was too weak, or because I had turned my attention somewhere else. My silence was never emptiness. It was movement you could not see. Behind what looked like nothing, I was rearranging things, closing doors that would have hurt you, redirecting paths that would have taken you somewhere you were never meant to go, building something for you that required more time than you were comfortable giving. You measured my love by the speed of my answers, and I understand why. When you are hurting, speed feels like care. But I tell you this, a father who loves deeply does not always move quickly. Sometimes he moves carefully, and careful takes longer than fast, but it gets you somewhere that fast never could. As it is written, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a future and a hope." Jeremiah 29:11. That plan has not been canceled, not by your doubts and not by your mistakes, and not by the seasons where you drifted. It is still written, and it is still moving, and you are still in it. Type, "I trust you, God," in the comments right now. Say it, even if part of you is still working through what trust actually means right now. Speaking it out loud begins something. Chosen one, I want to be honest with you about something that I think you have not let yourself fully feel yet. There are people in your life who have hurt you in ways that you have minimized because dealing with the full weight of it felt like too much. You told yourself it was not that bad, or that you were over it, or that holding on to it would only hurt you more, and so you packed it down and kept moving. But packed down pain does not disappear. It just finds other ways to come out. In the way you flinch before people get too close, in the way you second-guess yourself in moments where you used to be sure, in the way you sometimes look at your own life and feel like a stranger in it. I see where that pain lives inside of you, not to expose you, but to heal you, because healing cannot happen in the places you refuse to let me enter. As it is written, "He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds." Psalm 147:3. I do not heal from the outside in, I heal from the inside out. And that kind of healing requires you to stop sealing off the rooms where the damage is and let me walk into them with you. You do not have to do this alone. You never did. That was never the plan. Chosen one, let me tell you what I see when I look at you, because I think the version of yourself that you see and the version I see are very different right now. You look at yourself and you see everything that has not come together yet, the goals that are still unmet and the prayers still unanswered, and the person you imagined being by now that you have not yet become. You measure yourself by the gap between where you are and where you think you should be, and that gap makes you feel like you're failing. When I look at you, I see someone who has survived things that were designed to break them and did not break. I see someone who has kept going through seasons that would have made most people stop. I see someone who still has the capacity to feel deeply and to care and to want something better even after everything that has tried to harden them. I see the seeds I placed inside of you that have not yet broken through the surface, but whose roots are going deeper than you know. And I see a future that is not defined by your past or your present struggle, but by what I have already ordained for your life before you took your first breath. You are not what your worst days say you are. You are what I say you are. And I have never once changed my mind about you. Stay here. Do not close this yet. What comes next is something I have been waiting to say to you. Chosen one, I want to talk about the loneliness. Not the kind that comes from being physically alone, but the kind that lives inside even when you are surrounded by people. The loneliness of feeling like no one truly sees you, like you show people a version of yourself, but the real version, the one with all the unresolved questions and the quiet fears and the things you find beautiful that no one else seems to notice, that version stays hidden because you have learned that showing it fully is a risk that has not always gone well for you. I see that version, the one you keep hidden, and I want you to know that it is the version I love most completely. Not because I love your flaws, but because I love you without requiring you to edit yourself before you come to me. You do not have to perform for me. You do not have to arrive with the right words or the right posture or a faith that looks impressive. You can arrive exactly as you are right now, uncertain and tired and still figuring it out, and I will not turn away. I will not ask you to clean yourself up first. I will meet you in the middle of the mess. As it is written, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18. Close, not watching from a distance, not waiting until you are better. Close, right now, in this.
Type, "I received this" in the comments. Let that be your response to what God just said to you. Chosen one, I want to speak into something that the enemy has been building in you quietly over this last season. A belief that your window is closing, that the time for certain things in your life has passed, and that what has not happened yet simply will not happen now. He has been feeding you that thought in the moments when you are most vulnerable and tired, and it has started to feel less like a lie and more like just the truth of your situation. It is not the truth, it is a strategy. He does not attack what has no value, and he does not invest his energy into convincing people whose lives have no significance. The fact that this specific fear has been so persistent and so loud in your mind is evidence that what God has placed inside of you is something worth fighting over. The enemy does not chase things that do not matter. He chases people whose purpose terrifies him. Your window is not closed. Your season is not over. The dreams that have not yet materialized are not dead. They are waiting for the version of you that is being formed in this exact season to be ready to carry them. And that formation is happening right now, even in the moments that feel most like nothing is happening. As it is written, being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. Philippians 1:6. I do not start things and leave them unfinished. What I began in you, I will complete. That is not a feeling, that is a covenant. Chosen one, this 1 minute I asked for was never really about 60 seconds. It was about this moment of honesty between you and me, where the noise drops away and what is real rises to the surface. I asked for 1 minute because I knew that if you gave me 1 honest minute, I could reach the place in you that has been waiting to be reached, the place that is tired of pretending, the place that still believes, even when belief feels costly, the place that knows deep down that there is something more than what the surface of your life currently reflects. That place in you is the place I have always spoken to. And what I want to say to it today is this: you are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not too far gone or too broken or too complicated for what I have prepared for your life. You are in process, and process is not the same as failure. A diamond does not form quickly, and it does not form comfortably. But what comes out of that pressure is something that does not break. You are coming out of this season as something that does not break. Chosen one, let me tell you what is on the other side of where you are standing right now, because I want you to walk toward something and not just away from where you have been. There is clarity coming to something that has felt impossibly confusing. A situation that has kept you up at night, turning it over and over, looking for an answer that would not come, is going to find resolution in a way that brings peace instead of just conclusions. There is restoration coming to a relationship or a dream or a part of yourself that you had quietly started to grieve, not because you forced it back, but because I am the one who restores, and I do not restore things halfway. There is a door coming that was made for exactly who you are right now, not who you were, and not the ideal version of yourself you are still working toward. Who you are right now in this season, with everything you have been through and everything you have learned, and the specific depth that this specific pain has produced in you. That door was not made for a more polished version of you. It was made for you as you are. And there are people coming into your life who are going to understand you in ways that the wrong people never could. People who do not need you to shrink or perform or explain yourself constantly. People who recognize what is in you because what is in them resonates with it. The isolation you have felt is not your permanent address. It was preparation for alignment, and alignment is coming. Type "I receive everything God has for me" in the comments and mean it with everything you have right now. Chosen one, as this comes to a close, I want you to carry one thing with you past this moment and into everything that comes next. That one thing is this: I wanted your 1 minute, not because I needed it, but because you did. You needed 1 minute where you were not performing and not managing and not holding everything together for someone else. 1 minute where someone who knows every hidden thing about you looked at all of it and did not flinch. 1 minute where the real you was welcomed completely, without condition or qualification.
I hope this was that minute. I hope something in you feels lighter than it did when you started, not because your circumstances changed, but because you remembered that you are not in this alone, and you never have been, and you never will be. As it is written, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Hebrews 13:5. That word never carries the weight of eternity, not sometimes, and not when you were doing well, and not when you have enough faith. Never, under no condition, in no season, never. You are held, you are known, you are loved with a love that does not fluctuate based on what you bring to it, and that love is not going anywhere regardless of what tomorrow looks like. If this minute reached something real inside of you, press the like button right now as your way of saying, I received this. Think about someone who needs this today, someone who has been feeling unseen and unheard, and like their 1 minute does not matter to anyone. Share this with them right now, because the person who just came to your mind was not random. That nudge is me using you to reach someone I love. Subscribe to this channel because these messages are not created to fill space. They are prepared for real people in real moments who need to hear from God in a way that actually lands. And if you want something more personal and more specific to exactly where you are right now, the link in the description is there for you. Daily messages and guidance for the ones who are serious about staying close. Chosen one, 1 minute was all I asked for, and you gave it. That is not a small thing. The ones who give God 1 honest minute are always the ones He moves in ways that cannot be explained. Your minute mattered, and so do you, more than you have been letting yourself believe. Type Amen if you stayed until the end. I see you, and I am glad you are here.